Woohoo! Today we're going on our holidays. Woohoo! Well, not quite, but let's pretend we are in 1 week and we have just 1 week to learn a language for travel. Ah!
Flight 2 for Paris is now boarding at gate 5.
But it's okay, relax, we can do this. First of all, you're going to want to forget your typical grammar and vocab and regular study routine that you would use for learning any other language. Scrap it out the window. Instead, focus on set phrases and key words and questions. To find this important stuff, there are a few things you can use. I'll link to these below as much as possible. So, the first thing is the World Nomads podcast series. This is really good and I love this. It's a guy going to different places and talking very naturally to people and learning a little language along the way. It's really cool. Second, download the Innovative Language app or any of the Pod 101 or Class 101 sessions and check out those early courses. The 25 questions you need to know, the beginner phrases, the introduction courses, those really early lessons. They're all great stuff for travel. And finally, in terms of podcasts, look for the Survival Phrases series on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. These are really, really good, concise lessons. There's normally sort of 10 to 15. Each lesson just focuses on an individual key phrase or two. But maybe you're thinking, I need some kind of book material, in which case, go for a phrase book over a course. Don't just think, oh well, it's okay, I'll just do the first couple of lessons in my course book. Yeah, there may be some useful stuff there for travel, but it might not always be focused to exactly what you need. Whereas with a phrase book, you don't have to learn the whole thing, but it covers a lot more ground than the first couple of lessons in a course book could ever do. Also, consider learning the words that you need. For example, are you a vegetarian? Do you have any allergies? Are you prone to headaches? All of this stuff could be very useful and maybe worth looking up and just getting in your brain before you head off and suddenly have to look through it at the last minute. Of course, you won't be able to predict every possible travel scenario, but by focusing on a few key phrases that you know will be relevant to you, you'll be saving yourself a lot of time down the line. And remember, there is no shame in having to dig out that phrasebook from time to time, or even point and mime. What about when it comes to skills to focus on? Okay, so with reading, I would say focus on signs and individual words and phrases that you may see written down. This is a particularly useful thing when you're traveling somewhere that uses a different writing system to what you're used to. So, no worries, we don't need to focus on reading. We can put away War and Peace and Don Quixote. Woohoo! Writing, forget it. Unless, again, you're going somewhere that uses a different script, it could be useful to learn how to write your name or the places that you're going to. For example, knowing how to write Xi'an in Chinese saved us from ending up on a train to a very small village in the middle of China. Listening! Audio will play a key part in learning a language in 1 week for travel. You want to hear the language as much as possible before you're away, both in terms of language learning materials and natural speed stuff. So, get in as much as you can. Podcasts, music, film, all of that stuff, plus some audio language learning stuff if you've got that as well. The nice thing about this and about listening to things like podcasts is that you'll be able to slow things down, you can backtrack, you can skip forward, which is something that you can't do in real life. So if you can cope listening to stuff like that and just feeling comfortable with it, you'll be fine when it comes to the real deal. And finally, speaking. I would say speaking and listening are the two most important skills when it comes to learning a language in quick time for travel. If you want a lesson or an exchange, go for it. But personally, I don't think it's that necessary if we've only got a week to work with, especially if you're already comfortable with your own language learning habits and you're pretty good at self-study. As long as you've got some audio to work with, just listen and repeat. Say the phrases that you'll need to be saying, not just the questions that you'll be asked. Does that make sense? Cool. So there we go. Everything you need to learn a language in 1 week for travel. Super, super fast time. Focus on the specifics that you need. Focus on those essential phrases, not just individual words and grammar. And focus on speaking and listening over reading and writing. If you want more, head over to the blog, link in the description below, where you can download your free guide to help you take this further. If you're going away this summer, I would love to know if you put these tips to good use. If so, let me know in the comments below and I look forward to hearing about your travels. And of course, as always, don't forget to subscribe for regular language learning videos right here on YouTube. And I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye.